Hi, my name is Garrett Moeller, and I'm with J. Wineland Benefits. We are the agent for your employee benefits. The month of February is your open enrollment period for changes that will go into effect March 1st for your voluntary benefits offered through Guardian. A couple of housekeeping notes. If you are already enrolled in Guardian products, you have received an email that looks similar to this that outlines your current coverages. If you don't want to make any changes, you do nothing. If you want to make changes, you must submit your changes back to James Teague by Thursday, February 22nd. And we'll go over each of the specific things you need to do for each of those coverages. What you have offered to you through Guardian is voluntary life, disability, critical illness, and accident. Voluntary life is a term life policy. You can get an amount anywhere from $10,000 up to $500,000. If you're already enrolled in an amount and you have less than $100,000, you can get up to $50,000 more, up to $100,000. For example, if you enrolled in $30,000 last year, you can get up to $80,000 this year. If you got $70,000 last year, you can get up to $100,000 this year without answering any health questions. I just need you to select on the form that says how much you want, send it back to James by February 22nd. Okay? You can also add your dependent children and your spouse to this coverage. If you have previously waived, if you've been hired before and in the past and you have previously waived, you will have to complete what's called evidence of insurability, and I'll go over those forms later. Life insurance is here to cover you should you pass away unexpectedly. That covers things like burial costs. You've got a house note, you've got rent, all these things. The last thing you want to have happen is your spouse or your loved ones to be left in a financial deficit after you pass away. I've actually had people that have passed away unexpectedly and their life insurance basically saved their family. So something to keep in mind. Also, an important key feature of this, you can take this coverage with you if you ever leave S3. So that's an option you have. They'll contact you once you leave and you can start a bank draft. Real quick on how this works. I'm 30 years old. If I want to buy $70,000 worth of life insurance, I go to this chart, $5.88. If I want to buy $250,000, $21, and I have to complete the evidence of insurability form. Very straightforward, very easy. And it also has charts for your spouse and your dependent children for their rates, should you want to add them. The next thing we'll discuss is disability. Disability is paycheck insurance. This is what happens if you are injured off the job only and you're unable to work. It's going to kick in after you've been off the job for 14 days, so the 15th day it becomes effective, and that's going to last for 13 weeks of disability. So, when you're out of work, you still got to make that truck note, you still got to make those house payments, you still got to put food on the table. That's what disability is for. You can get any amount from $100 up to $1,000. Again, just like the life insurance, if you have not enrolled previously, you're going to have to complete evidence of insurability. If you have enrolled previously, you can get up to $1,000, up to 60% of your base salary plus bonuses. Does not include overtime. If you've enrolled in the past and you got, say, $400 and you qualify for $600, you can buy up to $100 more. Nobody can have over $1,000. So, for example, the way this is going to work, I'm 30 years old. My average salary is $34,667. I can get $400, and that's going to cost me $10.52. This policy, unlike the life, is not portable, which means this is tied directly to your employment with S3. Should you ever terminate your employment with S3, you cannot take this with you. And like I said, on your calculating your salary, so if you make $15 an hour, that's roughly $31,000 a year. So that's how that works. It's not you cannot calculate your overtime. Now bonuses can be taken into effect. Like I said, the disability is your money. It's going to be after tax, so it is a straight check to you. So if you sign up for $400, you get a $400 check straight to you per week for the amount of time you're out on disability. It's your money to do whatever you want to do. The next thing we're going to discuss is the critical illness. So critical illness covers specified critical illnesses: cancer, heart attack, stroke, heart failure, organ failure, kidney failure. And the way this is going to work is you can get any amount from $5,000 up to $25,000 in $5,000 increments. Now, anybody who is purchased this in the past and want to buy up more, you still have to do the evidence of insurability to buy up more. If you have waived in the past, you're going to have to complete evidence of insurability. If this is your first, if you've been employed for less than 60 days, then you should have you have the opportunity to fill this out, and you do not have to complete evidence of insurability up to $10,000. Like I said, this is money that's made straight out to you. So if you have a heart attack and you've selected $10,000 worth of critical illness, they're going to write a check directly to you for $10,000. It's after tax amount. And it's say that your medical bills total $3,000. $7,000 is going to cover your time off of work. Any transportation that you might need to or from places. So this is, like I said, it's your money. Do whatever you want to with it. This policy, like the life insurance, is portable, which means should you terminate your employment with S3, you can take this with you. And finally is accident. Accident is the one policy that we're going to discuss today that requires no evidence of insurability, no matter if you've not enrolled in the past. It's a flat amount, and the way the accident plan works is it works on a schedule based on what happens to you. So, for example, if you fall out of your deer stand in hunting season and you have to go to the ER, that's $200. If you go for 3 follow-up doctor's visits, that's going to be $75 a visit, up to 6 visits. That's another $225. If they give you a walking boot because you hurt your leg when you fell out of the deer stand, that's going to be $125. If you fractured your ankle, that's going to be any amount up to $1,000, depending on the severity of your thing. So in that example, that's going to give you up to $950 just for that. If you're the most unlucky person in the world, there's no limit on this. If you follow the deer stand and the next week you fall off the ladder hanging Christmas lights, all of it, there's no pre-existing condition other than just being unlucky. This is very important, very popular with people with children that play organized sports. And I'll tell you why. If your child is hurt playing an organized sport, it pays a 20% increased benefit. So it's a nice feature to have. They're out playing baseball and get busted in the nose and have to go get stitches covered. Like I said, on the accident, it's just tell me what coverage you want. If you want to cover you and your child, it's $13.71 a pay period. If you want to cover your entire family, it's $18.96 a pay period. If you just want to cover yourself, $8.16 a pay period. Again, that's right here. No evidence of insurability is required for accident. All right, on the form, if you have previously enrolled, as I said before, and want to make no changes, you don't need to do anything. If you want to make any changes, if you previously enrolled or if this is your first time, you will complete the pages 1 through 6 telling me what coverages you'd like. Additionally, if you need anything that requires evidence of insurability, you will need to fill out this form. This is just basically a statement of health condition saying that yes, I'm healthy or no, I'm not healthy. That protects the insurer from adverse selection. Any questions? I can be reached through James T. Contact him. He will give you my contact information. I will give you a call.